Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, beautiful soul family, and welcome to Weekly Wisdom and Insights, your home for spiritually guided transformation and empowerment. I am your host, Dearjames, and together with the unseen, Spirit, Source, and Symphony, we look at the current energies, the intuitive wisdom and insights, and we go as guided. And there is huge, beautiful energy, some of it rocky, and some of it just next level extraordinary as we are moving. We're days away from the final transpersonal planet, Uranus, shifting signs, changing signs, moving into Gemini. Before that, it just happened. We just experienced and are experiencing the Mercury, Mars, and Saturn conjunction that took place on April 20th, creating a lot of friction, deep conversations, reflection. And again, that one foot on the gas pedal, the other foot on the brake, how we navigate that, our thoughts, our communications, our actions, that or inaction as it may be. But I want to jump in and welcome Kiki, welcome Alicia, welcome Heather. We're going to front load this a little bit and then we're going to back up. So let's just take a quick look because we're literally looking at, and then also Venus coming up on the 23rd. Tomorrow. So Venus will conjunct Uranus in the final degree of Taurus. It's the 29th degree, that anaretic degree, before Venus moves on into Gemini and then Uranus follows. And sometimes it's not about the technicality of astrology. We're not to get lost there. And it's okay that you may not know it well or at all. The point is about the energy, the feeling, as above, so below, how the planets move, what they're doing, and how that affects us, humanity, and our human experience, heaven on earth. And so let's take a quick look. We're going to look at astrologer Chani Nicholas. This is from her The Weekly, issue number 112. And she says, ready to majorly shift gears. Yes. Yes, we are ready. Humanity is ready. She says everything is about to shift, but first, we must face what's stuck. The week's headline news is that Uranus, the planet of disruption and rebellion, is entering Gemini. It's coming up on the 25th, 26th, depending on where you are in the world. This marks the start of a 7-year-long acceleration in communication, information, and technology. So get ready to change your mind and then change it some more. In the years ahead, we need to stay nimble and flexible as our world upgrades in real time. Before this ingress officially happens, though, there's a pileup of Mercury, the planet of communication, Mars, the planet of conflict, and Saturn, the planet of limits, in Aries, first sign of the zodiac. Q. blunt conversations, reality checks, and zero patience for anything that wastes your time. We're going places, we're moving forward. And so there is this push-pull moment until everything shifts. This is one of the toughest astrological moments of the year. So if it feels like you're backed into a corner, don't panic. Slow down and deal with what's in front of you. Working through obstacles one at a time will remind you how resilient you are. This is all about breaking it down into bite-sized tasks, pieces, and whether that's information or decisions, choices, all these things, just break it down. Because otherwise it will overwhelm you. It will overwhelm us. And so we want to be in a place of clarity, calm, consciousness. It's our key word. And this will allow us to be resilient. By the weekend, this is from Chani Nicholas, the astrologer, there will be reason to cautiously celebrate, thanks to Mercury's square, that's a frictional aspect, to Jupiter, the planet of abundance. Dream big. This is not about playing at small energy anymore. This is about that transformation, that metamorphosis, the transmuting of the old, of where we've been, to open and receive who we are, who we're becoming. Mercury square to Jupiter, the planet of abundance. Dream big. There's potential for possibilities to multiply, so long as we don't lose the plot. So don't get caught up in the chaos and the mayhem and the deconstruction of things. Stay calm and centered and place your energies in the construction of things. What's to come? What are you creating and building? What's shifting? Allow what you're releasing to be released. Let it go. Do so with grace, gratitude. Say thank you, namaste, I bow to the divine in you. Let it go and keep centered and focused on what's before us. Welcome, Colleen. So we're going to back up for a second here because this is all about Uranus. Uranus entering Gemini. It's the final, it's the higher mind, the expect the unexpected. It's the final outer planet, the transpersonal planet, to move into its official final sign. Well, so let's just take a peek at what Uranus, who is Uranus? What is Uranus? And it's tied to our, I'm going to bring it up really quickly, our main theme, because we're going to bounce a little bit here, so bear with me. Our main theme is Field of Dreams. The Great Awakener acts, takes action. That, yes, Uranus is known as the Great Awakener, but so are you. So are we. So the Great Awakener acts, takes action. It's what's within us, that divine creative force that is us, that moves and works through us, and how that's going to transform our lives, humanity, the world as we know it. So Uranus, known as the Great Awakener in astrology, is the planet of sudden change, innovation, rebellion, and revolution. It breaks established patterns, systems, and traditions, pushing for liberation, higher intelligence, and unconventional approaches to trigger rapid, often unexpected, transformation and evolution. So this is not garden variety, everyday, same old astrology energy. This is major change. And it's how we innovate, how we rebel against where we've been. Not for the sake of discourse, to create chaos and havoc, but to evolve, to recreate ourselves so that what we experience is our higher octave self, is our divine self, and how the two of them, they come together, as above, so below. They come together in that sweet spot. It's about sudden disruption and transformation. Uranus, the Great Awakener. Uranus acts as a lightning strike to the soul, destroying old, outdated systems to make way for the new. It forces evolution through sudden, unexpected events. We're either in the flow of the moment, the present moment, the cosmos, where we're going, or we're swimming upstream against it, fighting against it. It's either, that wonderful, catapult of quantum leaping forward, the tower and the cosmic 2x4. It's helping us. It's always helping us. But or it's going to feel like we're getting whacked. Like, because are we in alignment with it, or are we flowing against it, fighting the change? It's about rebellion and freedom. It represents the unconventional rebel, encouraging breaking rules, defying conformism, and seeking independence. When we're breaking rules and defying conformism, it's with discernment. Again, this isn't just, wreaking havoc and chaos and doing illegal activities. That is not the moral of the story. So please do not do that. What this is saying is, where conformity has kept us conformed and stuck, stagnant, then harness the power of Uranus changing signs into Gemini. Higher mind, how we think and move and act and create. And harness that wisdom to catapult you, to propel you forward. It's innovation and genius. As the mad scientist of the solar system, Uranus governs scientific genius, electricity, cutting-edge technology, and futuristic ideas. This is all speaking to constructing things. It may, by default, deconstruct things, the old. But it does so in a way, even if it's unknown and rash and bold, it's doing it from a pure place, a purity of intention. So bear that in mind as you take action. Am I deliberately causing harm, chaos? Or am I in alignment with the purity of my soul, my knowing? And while this might be, air quotes, radical and may cause confrontation, that's not the purity of the intention. I'm being pure in my actions, my thoughts, my deeds, as I transform. Higher consciousness. Uranus functions as a higher octave of Mercury, turning mundane thinking into higher intelligence, intuition, and cosmic awareness, soul source connection, listening to your soul, going as guided. This is also about the awakening process. This energy works by dismantling what is no longer useful, shifting perspectives, and promoting a global brother-sisterhood or humanitarian unity. It's about taking the blinders off. Once I was lost, but now I'm found. It's that field of dreams, and the great awakener takes action. It's the removing of the veils. It's the Clydesdale with their blinders. Well, they take them off. They've got this wonderful peripheral vision to see with. We're being elevated. Uranus, higher octave, higher mind, moving into Gemini, which is an air sign, and how that it's expansive, it's fast moving, it's fluid. And finally, Uranus rules Aquarius. We're in the age of Aquarian. We're in the matriarchal era. So Uranus rules Aquarius. It's innovative, it's future forward thinking. It's how do I reinvent myself, my world, my environment, my relationships in a way that elevates everyone. It's from a pure place. It's not illicit. So Uranus rules Aquarius and is associated with rapid technological advancements. And Uranus stays in a single zodiac sign for approximately 7 years. It has some retrogrades, shifting its focus from awakening different aspects of life every 84 years. This Uranus moving into Gemini is going to awaken us, humanity, technology. It's going to advance us in ways. And again, the time most recent was World War II. The time before that was the Civil War. The time before that was the American Revolution. Each time Uranus has been in Gemini, so we see it against the backdrop of conflict, chaos, war. However, in each of those instances, what was occurring was the liberation of the soul of humanity. being elevated. It was against the backdrop of horrid atrocities in the pursuit of liberation, freedom, liberty, unity, love, kindness. And so while astrology is cyclical, not identical, we can look back, hindsight, we can look back and see what happened before. And we can see where in our current moment, events taking place around the world, and yet we've advanced 3 times. This is the 4th time in our lives where we can look back and see this advance of history, of humanity, and how the upreaching, it never stops. We never cease. Humanity, the divine, the unseen God, never ceases to reach for a higher octave of a higher purity of our beingness, our heaven on earth experience. So this is Uranus, the Great Awakener. Now Uranus in Gemini. So it's going to be from approximately 2025. It ingressed into Gemini, it retrograded, and now coming up 26th of April, it's going to officially go in for 7 years into the sign of Gemini. So Uranus in Gemini signifies a profound, chaotic, and rapid revolution of the mind, communication, and collective consciousness. As the Great Awakener moves through the sign of the twins, spiritual growth is fostered through radical intellectual innovation, shattering outdated dogma, and adopting a beginner's mind. It's the Fool in the Tarot card. You're going to see how this is linked with Richard Rudd's Gene Key number 3, this innocence, the beginner's mind, to be childlike, because this is the opportunity before us. When we are all childlike, the world is at peace. The world is full of kindness and love and, generosity. And because watch children, they don't know any better. It's innate within them to simply love, to have fun, to have joy, to uplift. And yet you see how we've got these great awakening, a great awakener. It fosters radical intellectual innovation, to shatter outdated dogma. And it's adopting a beginner's mind to rethink how we connect and share information. Information, remember, it's not just something on a keyboard in a laptop on our smartphones and everything, technology information. Recognize it's also about how we share the information within us. What are we thinking? What are our perspectives? What are the old shadows that we need to purify and release and let go of? And how do we bring that into a higher octave of harmony and unity, purity, oneness? Well, it's beginner's mind, the Fool, to be childlike. This transit brings a soul-quaking shift, challenging complacency and focusing and forcing a new perspective on personal reality. It is a time for intellectual liberation, dismantling old belief systems that limit personal growth. No shoulda, woulda, couldas. No, I'm worried about what they think or any of that. Release all of that and let the purity of your soul, of the divine, the unseen, God, Allah, Buddha, the all that is, come forward. Let it lead you. This is about spiritual growth is achieved by transforming how we speak, learn, and express ideas. Expect major breakthroughs in information sharing, technology, AI, which can be used to either unite or divide, requiring mindful engagement. As Uranus enters Gemini and things are accelerated, and it's a hardcore advance against the backdrop of breaking down the old. Discernment, discernment, discernment. Use discernment, mindful engagement, wisdom. Double check, listen. When you see things, social media, television, whatever it may be, do take the extra steps to discern, to investigate, to listen. Is this true? Just don't take things at face value. We don't need to be, paranoid looking over our shoulder, but we also don't need to be a guppy where we just fall into, because this heightened advance is going to heighten both the purity of the advance and the truth, the acceleration, the upreaching and upleveling. But because the shadow doesn't want to let go of itself, the goo, it's also going to heighten the distortion. And so we're going to need mindful engagement, discernment, these types of things to really, there's the unseen is saying to me, like, think of it as like Mercury in retrograde on steroids. When Mercury is in retrograde, we reinvestigate, rethink, recheck, reinvestigate, re-listen. We're reviewing things so that we see them. That's what we want to do. Doesn't have to be burdensome, but utilize and harness the energy, the wisdom of it. So the spiritual task is to foster curiosity. This is where the beginner's mind and the fool foster curiosity and open-mindedness, adopting a non-judgmental approach to life and learning. Again, when we're in the flow and we're listening, it's effortless. It doesn't mean it's easy. You'll see it's number 5. No, I'm sorry, it's number 7 from the unseen. They said, I beg your pardon. I never promised you a rose garden. And what that is, and it's also with quote 3, it's like, for the benefit of the flowers, we water the thorns too. It's a Chinese proverb. So this is also about, I beg your pardon, I never promised you a rose garden, meaning God, the divine, the unseen, they didn't say it was going to be easy, this humanitarian heaven on earth evolution, journey, experience. It does come with thorns. But the point is that, look at the beauty of the flowers. So when we tend to the garden, to the flowers, great beauty is offered. When we're not paying attention, we might prick our finger with a thorn and it hurts. It's not fun. And so to what degree are we being conscious? We'll get to our keyword here in a second. So just wrapping up Uranus and Gemini. And it's also about embracing yes and rather than either or no, allowing for more adaptable and fluid consciousness. This is going to be extreme flow, movement in the flow. We might be going this way and we go this way. And it's a knowing that will guide us and direct us. So it's not going to be about being stubborn or stagnant or stuck, or it's going to be wide open, connected. We're connected, higher consciousness in the flow. It's revelatory. Because again, think, so the butterfly, Rick Levine, astrologer, we talked about this in last week's show or the week before, and his analogy about this time and how it's literally a transmutation of the caterpillar. It's a metamorphosis from caterpillar to butterfly. There is a continuity, a unity between them that is shared because, of course, one forgoes itself or sacrifices itself, the caterpillar, to gestate in the chrysalis to emerge as the butterfly. Well, this is that same thing about, it's not that there will be a struggle over who defines reality. There is a struggle here, but we're never the same, and yet there's a continuity, there's a line. So there will be a struggle because of this Uranus and Gemini shifting over who defines reality, pushing individuals to look beyond mainstream narratives and trust their own spiritual discernment. People are going to want, powers that be are going to want to control and dictate the narrative. And this is where the discernment, the mindful engagement is going to be key. So that, again, you're either upreaching or you're descending. You're either Leveling up or falling. It's one of the two. With the rapid influx of information, verifying truth is crucial. Release attachment to old ideas and embrace unexpected intellectual opportunities. Things may come out of nowhere, and you'll need to be ready to act, ready to go, ready to participate, ready to engage. Use discernment. It's the Seven of Cups in the tarot. Not everything is going to be wonderful, so use discernment. Is this really for my highest and best, or is it one that I should walk on by? And that can be a people, a person, a thing, a place, a job, whatever it may be. Discernment. Just because it's presented doesn't mean you are to take it. It's a yes and, but yes and, is this in my highest and best, or is this triggering things that may be harking to a lesson? Oh, I've already learned this lesson. I don't need to repeat it. Walk on by. Have faith that the cup, the next opportunity, will present itself. And lastly, find spiritual unity and community in your immediate surroundings, classrooms, online forums. Because again, we the people, Aquarian matriarchal era energy, and these major shifts, we are going from the I to the we. The I is not sacrificed in that sense. It's liberated. And when we do things from a place of we, a tide lifts all boats. It's a famous quote. The tide lifts all boats, not just my boat or your boat. So when we reinvent our thinking, when we innovate our consciousness and how, and remember, as above, so below. So the universe, the unseen is coming in, humanity's coming in, we arrive at the place together, and it uplifts us. It's number one from the unseen. Liberation at long last. Nothing, underlined, nothing will ever be, quote, the same, end quote, again. And it takes us back to the main theme of Field of Dreams. But I want to give us a quote with Uranus, and this sums it up perfectly. This whole octave and energy. Today is the first day of the rest of our lives. May we greet it with enthusiasm and an open heart. This is a quote by Astrology by Lauren. This Uranus shifting into Gemini, this final sign that's moving us forward, just catapulting us forward. Think of it as though today is the first day of the rest of our lives. May we greet it with enthusiasm, the Fool, enthusiasm, and an open heart, innocence, purity, goodness, joy, liberation, because that's what it's bringing and offering us. And so main theme, Field of Dreams, I'm just bringing this back up. Field of Dreams, the Great Awakener acts. Uranus is the Great Awakener, but so are you, so are we. And this is that the Great Awakener acts means we're going to be liberated, awakened in a way that is going to be transformative. And it's what we do with that energy, how we work with it, that is crucial, that matters most. So, Field of Dreams. And it's both a movie from the 1989. In the movie, when Iowa farmer Ray hears a mysterious voice one night in his cornfield saying, "If you build it, he will come," he feels the need to act. Despite taunts of lunacy, Ray builds a baseball diamond on his land, supported by his wife Annie. Afterward, the ghosts of great players start emerging from the crops to play ball, led by shoeless Joe Jackson. But as Ray learns, this Field of Dreams is about much more than bringing former baseball greats out to play. This is going to be a little otherworldly. The unseen is ever present. They always have been. And so we experience the language of the unseen can be in signs and synchronicities and symbols and thoughts and images in the sky or landscape, in the carpet. There's so many, a smell, a scent. our waking memory, our sleeping state. With this field of dreams, Uranus moving into Gemini, and the Great Awakener takes action. The part about this with the field of dreams is that the unseen over the course of the next 7 or the next decade is what I'm hearing, is going to become more present, tangible, literal. We will be able to see and interact in a way that has been, we talk about on the other side of the veil, that has been obscured. So there are times where we might literally see a loved one or see an angel or whatever. And I know this sounds fanciful, but bear with me. We're accelerating. There's a metamorphosis of humanity. There's an up-leveling, going from carbon to crystalline nature and structure, and how all of a sudden the veil not only thins but separates. The crucifixion resurrection of Master Jesus was the tearing of the veil, meaning the separation between God, the divine, the all that is, and humanity. So now we're up leveling, and so our connectivity to the unseen, to loved ones that have transitioned, angels, guides, other worldly beings, will intensify, is the word they're using. So spiritually, Field of Dreams carries a profound spiritual meaning centered on faith, redemption, and healing familial wounds. We come into families and multi-life incarnations, past lives, that we are healing, and we come into this. It doesn't have to be just, family, blood. It can be extensions in terms of coworkers and friends and, platonic and romantic partners and things of this nature that we're healing. It's karma. We're healing the shadow. We're purifying things. So this symbolizes listening to the soul's inner voice, taking leaps of faith to build a purposeful life, and accepting that heaven can exist on earth through love, forgiveness, and following one's unconventional dreams. If you build it, he will come. We can use he as God, the divine, Master Jesus, the all that is. You can also use this in the sense that if you build it, he will come, meaning the unseen. The way to build it is through love, forgiveness, purity of intention, wisdom, joy, innocence. That allows greatness to come in. Anything shadow, hate, anger, resentment, jealousy, retribution, all those things, prevent it, block it. It's a fall. It's a fall from grace. It's a decline. But love, forgiveness, joy, innocence, kindness, generosity opens the way. And it amplifies and magnifies. It's faith over reason. The central message, so Field of Dreams, the central message, if you build it, he will come, urges trust in a higher, often irrational calling, echoing how the Holy Spirit moves people through vague spiritual impressions. It's a knowing. When everything else in front of you is saying, this doesn't make sense, it's irrational, blah, blah, but there's a deep knowing that tells you to do something, to move forward, to not do something. Listen. Go as guided. Allow Source, Spirit, to move you, your soul, to guide you, to nourish you, to move you. It's about redemption and reconciliation. The field serves as a liminal space or a purgatory, allowing Ray, the main character in the movie, to heal his damaged relationship with his deceased father and find resolution for past regrets. It is never too late to love, to apologize, to speak to heal. It's never too late. And it does not matter if the person is here, incarnate, or discarnate on the other side. It's never too late to make peace, to love, to heal, to forgive. The movie implies that heaven is not a distant place, but the realization of love, passion, and reconciled relationships within us in our daily lives. It's heaven on earth. It resides within us. It's not some place that's external of us. So again, it's never too late, field of dreams, to alter and shift our perception, our openness, our willingness to heal, to engage, to love. Ray's journey, the character in the movie, Ray's journey highlights the pursuing purpose requires unwavering dedication, often demanding sacrifice and the courage to endure skeptics. You will have a plethora of skeptics. Oh my gosh, are you sure? And really? And I don't know. And because you're going to be triggering their shadow, their fears, and they're playing their role. It's okay. I know this is scary. It's scary for me. However, I know to do it. So I'm going to take the leap of faith. I'm going to have unwavering dedication. I'm going to sacrifice what I know to let go of. I'm going to find the courage to endure the skeptics, but to endure, period, because there's a deep knowing. Uranus in Gemini, it's going to be accelerated. There's not going to always be a lot of quote unquote time to think, second guess, mull things over. It's going to be this is a yes, and this is a no, or this is a not yet. And you're going to want to strike while the iron is hot each and every time. It's not going to be a one and done. It's going to be strike, 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 strike while the iron's hot. That's going to be the theme for the next decade. Lastly, the power of dreams. It serves as a reminder to embrace childlike faith in the impossible, reinforcing that our dreams, however irrational they may seem, are essential to a fulfilled life. Ultimately, the film suggests that creating a space for hope and love allows spiritual healing to happen, bringing peace to both the living and the departed. And so this is, again, it's about the fool. This is the fool, the hero's journey. The fool isn't a fool as in ignorant of things and, foolish and doesn't know things. The fool is empowered, liberated, confident, courageous, willing. Why? Because the soul knows. The soul is connected. The soul is guiding. It's not the ego, mind, personality, human doing it. It's the soul. So the fool embarks on the hero's journey. We may not know what's down and around the corner, but what we do know is take this step, release this person, place, or thing, move, go this direction, go this way, with a childlike innocence, purity, empowerment, faith. Let's look at Gene Key 3. This is from Richard Rudd, Gene Key's The Pulse. Through the eyes of a child. It is about chaos, innovation. So look at this, chaos, the collapsing, the deconstruction of the Piscean patriarchal era, chaos. Uranus and Gemini, all the outer transpersonal planets, shifting signs. All of the, Saturn and Neptune at 0 degrees Aries, 6,000 plus years. It's about innovation. Rapid innovation, advance. How? Innocence. So chaos, innovation, innocence. It is our purity, humanity's purity, that guides us, delivers us. It's what we're created of, love. When we harness that power, that energy of purity, it's revelatory. It's a game changer. So Richard Rudd, Gene Key 3. This week we step into the field of play through Gene Key 3 and its city of innocence, the great playground of children and mischievous masters. Try experiencing life through the heart of a child and tune into the whirlpool at its very core, breathing in change and exhaling innovation, transformation, transmutation, metamorphosis. The third city is childlike, but it has the wisdom of an ancient rishi, an ancient being. Imagine that, to have the heart of a child coupled with the mind of a Buddha. That's you. That's us. That's the divine. And Richard Rudd closes with, dare to be divine. So again, it is the fool. It is the hero's journey that we're all on. And each time we're faced with something new, something different, a major change, transformation, it's to do so with innocence, to be childlike, to act with grace and innocence and kindness. It does not mean to allow one to, run roughshod over you, abuse you, take advantage. On the contrary, when you need to stand up for yourself, do so. Do so confidently, firmly. We are all whole and sovereign. However, as we navigate life, we have a choice. Do we navigate it with joy and openness, childlike behavior? Or do we do it with a scowl and, an anger and a shadow and a cloud? It's a choice. So we have liberation at long last. Nothing will ever be the same again. And this field of dreams and the great awakener takes action. Number 2 from the unseen, they said, relax into your newness. It's not random or a matter of chance. So again, as above, so below, as the all that is changing, elevating. The veil dissipates. The unseen becomes seen. We're changing our thought, telepathy, things like telepathy, things where, the synchronicities, the signs, the symbols, all of this rapidly advancing. Because remember, AI is artificial intelligence. It's artificial. It's being programmed to assimilate data, and it can compute it and assimilate it much faster than a human. Okay, fine. However, but that doesn't make it on point accurate because it's soulless. It's absent of soul. So there's example after example of where AI can be hugely beneficial and it can be enormously incorrect because it's assembling data without, it's only as smart as its programmer, as what it's being trained to do. And so it's to remember, the unseen is saying, relax into your newness. It's not random or a matter of chance. It's an upgrade. It's an awakening within us. The great awakener takes action. Boom. So imagine that they're showing me like an operating system. And up until this point, we've been within this circular confine. Well, what happens when our consciousness, humanity, the whole of the whole, all of a sudden expands out to the next outer ring? That next outer ring of consciousness between where we've been and where it's moving to, it's present, it's existed, it's there. But now we're being given a greater access to it. So that expands us. And with that comes responsibility, discernment. It's quote number 1. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. This is by Ralph Waldo Emerson. So we're talking about AI for a minute. Artificial intelligence and the divine, the unseen, God, the all that is, your soul, that's original intelligence from which all emanates. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. It's when we hold true to ourselves and who we are, and we listen to our soul, and we go as guided. This is the most empowering. Number 3 from the unseen, they said, perhaps one day, in quotes, perhaps one day, the exact moment dreams become reality. Dream big. Astrologer Channing Nicholas in the weekly is saying, dream big. The unseen is saying, it's that thought when everyone says, well, maybe one day, perhaps one day I'll do this or I'll do that, or, wouldn't that be lovely and nice? And so the unseen is saying, perhaps one day, the exact moment dreams become reality. Dream big. Don't play it small. Don't play safe. Play for keeps. Be willing to step outside your comfort zone. Be willing to trust. It's not easy. I beg your pardon. I didn't promise you a rose garden. God, the divine, the unseen didn't say, oh, it's just easy breezy, simple. Here you go. How wonderful. No, it comes with challenge and friction. There are squares in astrology, frictional aspects. Sometimes that friction is the greatest force, energy, that catapults us forward. And without it, we just kind of, easy breezy, lackadaisical, go through life. And then we don't appreciate the advance or the greatness of the event the experience that just occurred. And so perhaps one day, the exact moment dreams become reality, dream big. The unseen is signaling to us, this is that culmination point, that metamorphosis point. The veil thins, the unseen is seen, dreams become reality. It's an acceleration, it's an advance. And you can see I'm trying to get, it's happening so fast inside, I'm trying to get it all out and my words are getting twisted. Number 4 from the unseen is, wish I may, wish I might. Becoming was never so easy. And then it was starlight, starbright. We'll come to that. But also they said, with great power comes great responsibility. And it's also the Sabian symbol for the descendant for this Uranus entering Gemini horary chart, the astrology chart for it. And so we are looking at, I want to just go to the descendant Sabian symbol really quickly here. It's a man possessed of more gifts than he or she, or than he can hold. It's a person is possessed of more gifts than they can hold. Obsession by potentiality. The mind which finds itself confronted with a totally unfamiliar and as yet unexperienced type of potency, we're moving to that next outer ring, finds it difficult at first to adjust to its new world of perception and possibilities of action. Field of Dreams, the great Awakener takes action. They may rush ahead excitedly and lose their bearings. They should try to reach a state of calm watchfulness, discernment, and to learn that at this level too, there are limits and restrictions, meaning universal laws expressing this new type of order. So again, there's an up-leveling, an expansion of humanity, of consciousness. It doesn't mean limitless, unbridled, access and so forth. There are universal laws and order to this next level of consciousness, of expansion. And so we're to work with it. This entire sequence of symbols shows us that humankind at this evolutionary station must move carefully in their new realm, for their consciousness is not yet fully able to operate within it, except with closely defined limits. So the more in tune we are, the more in alignment, soul source connection, the more in the flow, the more we're listening, the easier it becomes. And then, of course, we will naturally apply our limits because we're listening. We know when we're, as children, when you were, testing the envelope, pressing the, pressing, let's see how far I can get. And there was a parent, a guardian, someone there to say, no, not yet. Like safeguarding us, keeping us safe, healthy. This is the same. There are defined limits. It is a symbol of warning, a warning against undertaking more than it is as yet safe and sound to attempt. This is speaking to simply be in mindful oneness with the flow of this energy, so that as you expand, up level, metamorphosize your beingness, you're doing so in a protectful, cared for manner. And this wish I may, wish I might, and we got to go to consciousness as well, but the Starlight Starbright is a traditional American nursery rhyme and superstition dating back to the 19th century. It is used when wishing upon the first star or a shooting star at night, symbolizing hope and innocence. There's a huge theme here of hope, innocence, childlikeness, the hero's journey, this new octave, new energy, new consciousness. And the full lyrics are starlight, starbright, first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might, have the wish I wish tonight. And so the unseen is saying to us, wish I may, wish I might, becoming who we are, becoming into our newness, was never so easy. With great power comes great responsibility. We don't want the cosmic 2x4. We don't want the bug zapper. We don't want the burned hand on the oven. We don't want that. So as we innovate and expand in consciousness, and it's our key word, consciousness, we want to be exceedingly mindful and in tune with the all that is, the unseen, your soul. Consciousness. Its direct meaning is the state of being awake, aware of one's surroundings, and experiencing personal thoughts, sensations, and feelings. The quality or state of being aware, especially of something within oneself. The state of understanding and realizing something. So it's awareness of our surrounding, our beingness, the unseen. Spiritual consciousness is the profound awareness of oneself as a spiritual being, rather than merely a physical body, connected to a higher, universal, or divine force. It represents an awakened state of being, recognizing that a divine essence resides within, allowing for inner transformation, unity with all things, and a shift from ego-centered to love-centered living. It represents an understanding of being spirit within, often described as an internal divine presence. It's your soul. It's your soul source connection. Related concepts are higher consciousness, spiritual awareness, awakening, soul consciousness, cosmic consciousness, Christ consciousness. Experiencing, and its characteristics are about experiencing divine love, losing the fear of death, and seeing the world with objective, compassionate, and connected awareness. So we have this consciousness. We also have this beautiful mantra. My magical nature awakens within me. So Uranus and Gemini, this massive shift, this metamorphosis, my magical nature awakens within me. And you see the crystalline nature of these beautiful stones, these crystals, this crystalline nature being awakened within us. And then the unseen had the word rise. So my magical nature awakens within me. Rise. See, this is up-leveling. This is not falling down or being stuck, stagnant, all that. This is about up-leveling. Number 5 from the unseen was the word innovation. And they said the cosmic wheel, the cosmic egg of ascension, of advance. Ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. It's original intelligence. Ain't nothing like the real thing. And this innovation, the cosmic wheel, the cosmic egg is about the world card. And it is both the fool, but the world. And the world card in the tarot is the final major arcana. The major arcana in the tarot represent fated or destined events. And they signify, and so the world card signifies ultimate fulfillment, completion, and success. It represents achieving goals, integration, and the successful end of a major life cycle, often indicating a transition to a new phase, travel, or a sense of wholeness. It is a yes card in readings. So that yes and, it's a yes. And it's about completion and success. It's about celebration, victory, but it's about endings and beginnings. And the Fool, just to go back quickly to that, the Fool in the tarot is represented by the 0. And it represents a pure, untainted spirit embarking on a new journey, emphasizing faith, spontaneity, and trusting the universe. It symbolizes the beginner's mind, urging you to take a leap of faith into the unknown, free from fear and limitations, often signaling a pivotal spiritual initiation. And so this innovation, it's number 5, denoting change, innovation, the cosmic wheel or egg of ascension, advance. Ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. So no matter how much we advance, or AI advances, remember to not subjugate your sovereignty, your divinity, to something that is external. It doesn't mean not to utilize it, but it's to utilize it with great discernment, great wisdom. Where's that wisdom, that discernment and wisdom coming from? Original intelligence, from the unseen. So as we're being led astray in one way because the old is trying to hold on to power, manipulation, and control, its algorithms, we want to suck you in and keep you over here. And yet there's a higher mind, a higher octave, a purity of source that is guiding us upward, onward, outward. We have a choice to receive that, experience that, align with that energy, as opposed to that which is artificial, is the easiest way to put it. Artificial. Number 6 from the unseen, they said, if you build it, these are lines from the movie, if you build it, he will come. Go the distance. Ease his pain. When the spirit of the past awakens, comes alive, to life again. This is what I was talking about at the beginning of this show. If you build it, when you build it, go the distance, ease your pain. It's when the spirit of the past awakens, comes alive to life again. It's when we see the unseen. We often speak that people have quote unquote died or they're dead. That couldn't be further from the truth. They are very much alive. They're simply in another realm of being, of existence. Discarnate, incarnate. And so, and how does that, when we build it, when we connect with this new octave of energy, communication, oneness, we're going to that next outer band of operating system. This is when that which was unseen will be seen by you. So that which was unseen will be seen by you. And it takes me back to, relax into your newness. It's not random or a matter of chance. You're not losing your mind. Yes, people may think you're crazy, but again, this has happened many times to me. And yes, I am the first one to say, oh, if somebody hadn't been there, or oh, if somebody hadn't, they would think I'm nuts. And yet I just release that because I know the validity of what I experienced. This will be the same for all of us. When you build it, if you build it, it will come. It will arrive. And the energies that go along with Uranus and Gemini and this is the chart for Uranus and Gemini. And when I saw it intuitively, what I heard for the astrological influence is, take me higher. So this is going to take us higher. Well, spiritually, take me higher often represents a spiritual plea for ascension, divine connection, and emotional elevation beyond mundane struggles. It signifies a desire to transcend earthly limitations, experience a higher love or spiritual rapture, and move toward a state of spiritual maturity, divine awareness, or even heaven on earth energy. It reflects a plea to the divine or the unseen to lift one's spirit to a higher plane of consciousness, often characterized by peace, joy, and spiritual enlightenment. It's about transcending earthly woes. It's the desire to rise above negativity, past wounds, and worldly limitations, into a state where love replaces fear and hate. It's about connecting with the higher self, moving beyond the ego to connect with a higher, divine, more enlightened self. It's described as a desire to experience a state of heavenly bliss, love, and divine presence while still in the present life, the human body. In some contexts, it indicates a deepening of faith and personal transformation. And it is this transformation, this take me higher, this lift us up. My magical nature awakens within me, rise. And, pardon me, and I believe it's quote number 3 that we are missing. No, we had number 3. Sorry, I just want to say, no, we've done all 3 of them. Sorry, I thought I'd missed one. I want to close with more of the Sabian symbols because these are so on point, and there are 3 others, and we'll wrap it up. This is the symbol for Uranus entering Gemini at 0 degrees Gemini. A peacock parading on the terrace of an old castle. The personal display of inherited gifts. See, we've inherited this moment. For the many incarnations that we've been here before, and whether you ascribe to that and believe in that or not, there is universal truth and validity in multi-incarnational past lives, however you'd like to articulate it, where our soul has been here before. Other souls have been here before. And so this personal display of inherited gifts, it's the original intelligence, the soul, coming through. A great person able to display a multitude of gifts is always, at one level or another, the consummation of a long past of efforts and victories. Just like in this lifetime, we learn from our choices and we become greater, wiser. It's the same with past lives. So it is, at one level or another, the consummation of a long past of efforts and victories. As a great occultist, a wisdom person once wrote, adepts are the flowering, so the fool, the hero, adepts are the flowering of their races and cultures. The peacock is the bird consecrated to Venus. In wisdom tradition, occult tradition, the Promethean spirits who gave to animal mankind the divine gift of self-conscious intelligence had come from, quote, Venus, which may or may not refer to the physical planet we observe in the sky. This is the final symbol of the fourth scene, whose key word has been given as confirmation. This peacock symbol indeed confirms, the social status of the owner of the ancestral estate. Meaning, you have earned this moment. There's nothing that's by mistake. These 8 billion, give or take, souls on the planet at this time, it's purposeful, it's intentional, it's ancestral. It indicates a consummation of individual efforts, and it suggests that such a consummation is hardly possible except when a line of ancestors, all those who've come before us, who will appear, field of dreams, biological or spiritual, forms its base. We stand on the shoulders of giants in this moment. We are the recipients of our past lives, of all those in the unseen that nourish us, guide us, protect us, lift us up, refine us, as well as ourselves in this moment. And so you can see that it suggests that such a consummation is hardly possible except when a line of ancestors, biological or spiritual, form its base. The unseen, the divine, the soul forms its base. Our past lives, biological, familial, ancestral, form its base. North Node, where humanity's going, the Sabian symbol, and these are Dane Rudyear's an astrological mandala, these Sabian symbols. North Node, illuminated by a shaft of light, a large cross lies on rocks surrounded by sea mist. The spiritual blessing which strengthens individuals who, happen what may, stand uncompromisingly for their own truth. It's about their authenticity, their purity, who you are at your center, your soul. Men and women who do not depend upon collective values, traditions, or support, but seek at any cost to be true to their individual self and destiny, almost inevitably face some kind of crucifixion. I mean, how dare you? Who are you to be so unique and special and pioneering? Because it intimidates, it creates fear, it triggers their own sense that they won't or can't do it. And yet, by example, you are doing it. They are sustained only by the power within them, the soul, the unseen, to which a light above answers. The symbol tells us, be true to thine own self, and in the midst of the outer confusion displayed by those surrounding you, you will realize what you really are as an individual, a child of God, of the divine, of the unseen. Relax into your newness. It's not random or a matter of chance. This second stage symbol presents us with a realization in polar opposition to that evoked by the preceding one. It implies the supreme worth of a life guided by an inner voice and manifesting a high degree of self-assertion. This is high octave alignment, purity, and the wisdom of your soul guiding you forward. And last but not least, Venus, the Garden of the Tuileries in Paris, the formalization of collective ideals through the application of reason and order to newly discovered aspects of nature. This is about, so the Gardens of the Tuileries and Versailles are typical representations of the classical spirit, pardon me, and its need for order and symmetry. The reign of the French king, Louis XIV, followed the Renaissance. The Renaissance is innovation. It's Uranus. It's an up-leveling of humanity. So the reign of the French king, Louis XIV, the Sun King, followed the Renaissance, which was filled with the excitement of a new spirit of discovery and a period of internal troubles. How we navigate all of this newness. A reaction had to come to consolidate the gains made by the collective mind of European humankind. Such a consolidation usually leads to another extreme, formalism, and often the narrow intellectual crystallization of concepts or dualistic concepts. What this is speaking to is our vastness. We're going to enter a period, we are in it, where the vastness of our consciousness expands. It's an up-leveling. And again, there's going to be a desire for conformity. I need to take all of this and put it into nice, neat little boxes and labels and identities and all of these things. And we're to guard against that. Because yes, while that helps us to streamline, but we're also stepping beyond this conformity, this limitation, lack. And so really it boils down to, with great power comes great responsibility. We don't need to stigmatize or stereotype or minimalize or conform when we're in the highest octave and purity of our being. I am. It's expansive and limitless, so it's infinite and finite all at the same time. As they say in French, c'est tout fini. That's all we need. We don't need to break it down into an old order. Allow it to simply be. In that space, you'll have all-knowing. So it won't require lack or limitations or conformity. It will be in its highest purity. Oh, I hope I have done justice to this episode. We may pick this back up again next week in a part 2, because the energies of what the unseen is speaking to and what's occurring, what is happening is vast. It pushes the boundaries of our known realities. And I understand that, and I'm right there with you. And yet there is an invitation, a great invitation, because again, it's happening. It's a fait accompli. These are fated and destined events. And so it's, to what degree are we in flow, in alignment with it? So I will leave you all there. Thank you as always for being here and being on this beautiful journey. And I can't wait to see where the unseen, the divine, the all that is God guides us next. So be kind, be well, and be fluid, and use great discernment and consciousness and innocence, childlike wonder, awe and wonder. We'll see you next week.